When you start researching how to make a girl like you, you'll encounter a variety of advice. Some suggest that having a strong, muscular body is the way to go, while others will tell you that money is the secret. Then, there are those who swear by the power of seduction techniques. But when we look at real-world examples, the truth is, most men who successfully attract women don't have any of these things. In fact, attracting women is a lot simpler than most people think, and it's easier than you might expect. All you need to do is forget about those superficial tips that only complicate things and get back to the basic principles of attraction. In this guide, I'll break it all down step by step and explain everything you need to know so that you can make any girl, no matter who she is, like you, and feel a genuine desire for you. When I was in university, just like most other guys, I desperately tried everything I could think of to get girls to like me. I made all the classic moves, compliments, gifts, trying to be funny, but nothing worked. Every attempt I made to get attention or spark interest ended in failure. This went on until a friend of mine recommended a book. I read it in a week, and when I was done, it was like the clouds parted, and I finally understood everything I had been doing wrong. Believe me when I say this, attracting women is incredibly simple. Once you learn the formula and begin applying it, the results will speak for themselves. So listen carefully, because what I'm about to share with you could change your life. Oh, and by the way, if this video hits 1.000 likes, I'll drop the name of the book in the first comment. The first thing you need to understand is that success with women isn't a matter of external factors like looks or money. It's all about your mindset. What you believe and feel about yourself reflects in your actions. The reason why many men fail with women is because they don't truly believe they deserve the company of an attractive woman. The truth is, women don't judge you based on your physical appearance, your words, or even how much wealth you have. What they really judge you on is the energy and emotions you project. Women are incredibly intuitive and can sense your internal state, how you feel about yourself, your confidence, and your self-assurance will come across in every interaction. For example, when you're nervous around a woman, she picks up on it. If you feel anxious or unsure, it becomes evident in your body language, voice, and overall demeanor. The girl senses that you're not confident enough to approach her or carry on a conversation, and that's often the main reason for rejection. But here's the good news. If you approach her with calmness, confidence, and a relaxed attitude, she'll respond far more positively. Why? Because you're projecting a sense of ease and security, which women are naturally drawn to. The key is to present yourself as someone who is comfortable in their own skin, who feels entitled to be around women, and who knows he is worth their time. Now let's talk about a common mistake many men make: the tendency to put women on a pedestal. You may think that if you treat a girl like she's special or act like she's out of your league, she'll like you more. But this couldn't be further from the truth. If you find yourself trying too hard to impress her, you're probably compensating for some form of inner insecurity. This kind of behavior is a clear sign that you don't feel confident about yourself, and you're trying to cover it up by going overboard with gestures and compliments. The reality is, the best way to impress a girl is by not trying to impress her at all. When you make a big deal about getting her attention, she's less likely to be interested. Why? Because women are used to men trying to win them over, and it's not a genuine interaction. However, when you stop seeking her approval and act as though you're already secure in yourself, that's when you begin to stand out. Let's look at 2 examples to illustrate this point. Scenario 1. Guy, hi. Can I get you a drink? Girl, I'm fine. Thanks. Guy, awkward silence. Scenario 2. Guy, hey. What's the best drink here? Girl, oh, it's the XYZ. Guy, cool. Mind buying me one? Notice the difference? The second guy's approach is more relaxed. and it doesn't seem like he's trying to impress her. It's just a natural conversation. The girl is less likely to feel pressured and more likely to engage. Women are accustomed to men making obvious attempts to win them over. So when someone doesn't, it creates a sense of intrigue. Another crucial factor to consider is the deep need for validation that many men experience. This need often comes from an underlying lack of self-esteem or self-worth. Men who constantly seek approval from women do so because they don't feel confident in themselves. They're afraid of rejection before the interaction even begins. So they overcompensate in order to avoid it. This mindset leads to a series of behaviors designed to get validation from the woman. Compliments, special treatment, or attempts to make her feel good about herself. The problem with this is that it places all your power in her hands. Here's a glimpse into the mental journey of a man who's constantly seeking approval from a woman. He sees an attractive woman and thinks, "Wow, she's gorgeous. I really hope I don't mess this up." From this point, he's already trying too hard, overthinking every move and saying things he doesn't fully mean. But here's what goes on in the woman's mind. He's really pulling out all the stops to get my attention. But there's nothing unique about him. He's just another guy trying too hard. When will this night be over? As soon as she senses that you're seeking her approval, she loses interest. The key is to detach yourself from the outcome. Rejection, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter. Men who are successful with women know that rejection is simply part of the game. It's not personal, and it doesn't define who you are as a person. These men don't tie their sense of self-worth to whether or not a woman accepts them. Instead, they focus on enjoying the experience and learning from every interaction. They understand that the more relaxed they are about the outcome, the more likely they are to succeed. Let's take a look at two more examples to demonstrate how this mindset works. Scenario 1. Guy, hey, how's it going? Girl, go away. Jerk. Guy, oh, sorry, I'll leave. Scenario 2. Guy, hey, how's it going? Girl, go away. Jerk. Guy, ouch. Looks like you're having a tough day. My mom always warned me about angry birds. I'm scared. Bye. In the second scenario, the guy doesn't take the rejection personally. He responds with humor and moves on. This relaxed, carefree attitude makes the interaction much more enjoyable, no matter how the woman responds. When you're indifferent to the outcome, it removes the pressure, and this makes you far more attractive. Now, there's something else I want to touch on. The idea that a woman's looks should somehow elevate her status. Some men make the mistake of treating a woman differently just because she's physically attractive. This mindset is problematic because beauty is something she doesn't control. So why should it automatically put her on a pedestal? When you behave nervously or awkwardly around an attractive woman, it's easy to fumble and ruin the interaction. But when you treat a woman with the same respect and confidence as you would anyone else, regardless of her appearance, an interesting thing happens. For example, man, my friend thinks it's hard to find intelligent women. Woman, why does he think that? Man, well, I think beauty is everywhere these days. But finding smart women? That's a real challenge. In this scenario, the man isn't directly complimenting her, but he's subtly implying that intelligence is more valuable than beauty. This can make the woman start questioning her own worth. And as a result, she begins to seek his validation. This is a clever psychological shift that makes you appear as someone different from all the other men she meets. To wrap things up, the core idea is this. Regardless of how physically beautiful a woman is, with the right mindset and approach, you can captivate her. Imagine being a man who doesn't rush into relationships, who knows exactly what he wants, and who chooses women based on genuine connection rather than settling for anyone who comes along. This is the mindset of someone who truly understands attraction. Just like when you go to a restaurant and order chicken soup, but they don't have it. You don't settle for something less. You keep looking for what you really want. A man who understands attraction never settles. He holds himself to high standards and never compromises on the kind of woman he truly wants to date. A man of true value places his principles above all else, even the woman he's with. He doesn't fear standing firm in his values, even when it means stepping back if those values are being challenged. Let's consider a scenario. You're in the middle of a heated argument with your girlfriend, and she threatens to leave you. What do you do in that moment? The average guy would immediately start apologizing, desperate not to upset her further. He may even go as far as to agree with things he doesn't believe in or compromise on things he doesn't want to avoid the risk of her leaving. However, a high-value man reacts entirely differently. When the woman says, "I'm going to leave you," his response is calm and unwavering. "It seems we're not really compatible anyway. Maybe Charlie would be a better fit for you." Then he walks away without hesitation. A high-value man never compromises his principles. He knows his worth and has no fear of being alone. He recognizes that there are always other options. And if this relationship isn't working, then it's simply not meant to be. We often take for granted the things that come too easily to us. Think about it. We tend to value the things we've worked hard to obtain far more than the things that have been handed to us effortlessly. This same principle applies to relationships. Women often tend to value men who make them put in some effort to understand them. When you don't react like the average man, when you don't just fall in line with what she expects, she begins to think there's something special about you. That's why it's essential to learn how to make a woman work for your attention. Don't be an open book that she can read in one sitting. One effective approach is to show some interest, but then quickly withdraw it. For instance, the average guy might simply compliment her, "You're really pretty," and wait for her to respond. But a high-value man might say, "Yeah, you're pretty, but I'm not sure we get along. You seem like the kind of person who's a bit too much of a goody two-shoes for me." Do you see the difference? The second statement will provoke a much stronger emotional reaction. The woman will be left wondering, "He said I'm pretty, but why does he think we wouldn't get along? What's his deal? This guy is different. I need to find out more." By creating that sense of doubt and intrigue, you've made her work for your attention. And as a result, she becomes genuinely curious about you. When a woman feels like she has to earn your attention, she becomes captivated by the mystery you present. A big mistake many men make is altering their behavior or lifestyle just to meet the expectations of the woman they're with. This often comes from a fear of not being good enough or not meeting her standards. But this is a dangerous game, akin to being a dead fish drifting aimlessly downstream. When you adapt too much to her needs and preferences, you lose control over your own direction. And ultimately, when the relationship ends, you're left with nothing but the hollow realization that you've given up parts of yourself in an effort to keep her. By shaping your life to fit her preferences, you're unintentionally sending a message that you view her as being of higher value than yourself. You're suggesting that you need to change who you are in order to match what she expects. But the reality is much simpler. If she doesn't appreciate who you are, she simply doesn't deserve you. If she can't accept you for who you truly are, then she's the one who needs to change, not you. You shouldn't have to change a single thing to make a woman feel comfortable or at ease. If she wants to be with you, she must adapt to your reality. The key to being a high-value man is not worrying about what others think or trying to fit into someone else's mold. You create your own reality and follow your own path. A high-value man knows that there's no shortage of attractive women out there. He doesn't place all his hope and energy into one woman. If one woman rejects him, he moves on with ease, knowing that there are plenty of other opportunities. He sees abundance, not scarcity, when it comes to women, and that's the secret. This isn't just a set of tips. It's a complete shift in mindset. What I've shared is how a high-value man thinks, how he carries himself, and how he attracts women by being true to himself. But as always, knowledge without action is meaningless. The strategies I've shared here only work if you put them into practice. It's a dark needle in the dating game, one that requires you to be bold, to stand strong in your own identity, and to never settle for less than you deserve. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more realistic guides like this one. Stay tuned for the next video, where we'll dive even deeper into strategies for leveling up your dating game. See you next time.